Hi, I'm Melanie. It's fun to be with you guys today from the kitchen at My Oil Life. This is a fun kitchen if you guys have been here before. It's up here on the second level and it's a beautiful big kitchen. I'm looking out at the gorgeous mountains right now. They're snow covered and it's gorgeous, but we're also thinking about Valentine's Day. So the recipe that I'd like to do for you this time is dried cherries and lime shortbread cookies. So it's another shortbread cookie. If you watched the other video, I mentioned that I make that orange one a lot at Christmas, and I do this one a lot at Christmas too. But again, I just thought of Valentine's Day because of that sandiness of shortbread. It's light, and so it can just be a fun light treat. And this is one that your kids would probably love when they came home from school. So I've got lime doTerra essential oil. I'm starting out with that, so I'm going to put about 4 drops. I always like to put it on top of my butter when I'm starting because that way it really gets incorporated in. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to put some lime zest in. Now, since it's Valentine's Day, I'm not going to put very much lime in because we don't want it to look like Christmas, okay? So I'm just going to put in a skosh so that way we are just getting the flavor out of it. This recipe also has almond in it, and the recipe will be online for you to be able to look up, or however it is they do it, they'll connect you to it. But let me just tell you real quick as we start, this has butter, flour, powdered sugar, doTerra lime, almond, and then dried cherries. And so again, it's a real easy recipe, baking powder, salt, those kind of things. So very easy because you have most of these things on hand at home. So you want to go ahead and we're going to throw in that mixer now. Usually I would be doing this with my big KitchenAid, but I didn't want to drag my KitchenAid down here today because that bugger is awfully heavy, as you well know. So I'm just going to get this butter, and oh, I wish you could smell this because it's amazing with that lime in it. So I'm just going to pop it up here just a little bit so we get it nice and smooth. Okay, something that I do when I make cookies is I add in, let me just turn that down, I add in my baking powder and salt at this point of making cookies. I do that with all cookies that I make because that way it gets blended in really well. You can add it in after the sugar if you want to too. I do it before the flour so that way it gets totally incorporated in. So what I just put in is the powdered sugar. So we're just going to let that blend and get nice and work together. Again, it just smells so good because you can smell that lime. It's just divine. Okay, so I'm going to stop that for just a second. So what you're doing when you're making shortbread is you're making it so it's almost like sand. If I had my big mixer, I would just add all the flour in at once. But with this smaller one, I'm going to add it more in 2 portions. So I'm going to add a little bit more this time than I did on that orange shortbread cookie, just because it mixed so fast. So I think part of it is this kitchen is a little bit warm today. And so it's mixing up quicker than I thought it would. But see how that's already looking like sand? So I'm just going to hurry and dump in the rest so we keep it more sandy-like this time. Okay, and then I'm going to stop that. This is just, you guys, I have to tell you, maybe next time I will drag my KitchenAid because it is mixing so differently than it does with the KitchenAid with this hand mixer. So it's just mixing it up a lot faster. I thought it was because my butter was softer than usual, but you can see how in fact, what I'm going to do to combat this is kind of good because this way you can say, okay, this is a screw up, so let's see how she solves the screw up. So what I'm going to do is get all of that damp dough in so that way I'm working with everything here. Because the last thing that we're going to add into here is the dried cherries, and I just don't want to overmix this to where it gets too mixed. So this is dried cherries that I've just pre-chopped before I came this morning. And so what I'm going to do now is just mix it in this way more. Because see, that way it's working that flour into it more so it's staying sandy. If you guys can see, that one edge of the bowl is really sandy. And that's what we're after. That's what makes crazy good shortbread, is that sandiness. The thing I love about these cookies is, especially during the holidays, Christmas, etc., you're so busy. And people tend to drop in and it's like, oh, I wished I had something that was yummy for them to try. And so this cookie is one of those. And so the other thing about Valentine's Day is maybe you're going to be really busy on Valentine's Day doing things with your kids at school and etc. And so then you could have these all ready to go, so that then when you got home from your busy day or at work, if you had to work, you could have done these the night before, and then you can have, we're just laughing about this saran that's here. We have to tear it apart every time. Anyway, you could have this all ready to go, so that way you've got a luscious treat that you just pop in the oven and bake and have a hot cookie. Why do you need to go to Costco when you can have something so delicious from home? And like I said, most of the time we have these ingredients on hand at home. So, all right, so we're going to take our saran here, and what we are going to do is divide this dough haphazardly. It doesn't need to be exact by any means, in half. So I'm just going to put some of it out here on the saran. And then what we're going to do is make it into a log. So I try and kind of get some of it formed at this point in time. And then an easy way to do it is to just use your saran to help you. Whoops, there's some dough right there. Just roll it. And then see how fun that is, because you've got it in that log, but now you can actually roll it on the counter and make it into a log more shape. So for Valentine's Day, last night I tried at home to make this into a heart, and it made a really rustic heart. So if you're good with rustic hearts, you could do that. And let me just tell you how I did it. I took a wooden spoon and just went down the top of it multiple times to try and get it, you know, so that it had a nice little crevice in it. And then I just tried to pinch the ends. And so if you wanted to play with that at home, you could come up with a really fun rustic heart. So what you do now is just take that, pop it in the fridge, and let it chill 3 to 4 hours. So with the magic of our magic kitchen here and my great helper, Courtney, you will see that this is what happens after the 3 to 4 hours, is that you have this nice dough that's ready to go. Let's see, Courtney, could you hand me that other cookie sheet? Sorry. Look how good she is, you guys. She can film and hand me things. It's because she told me she has such nice long arms. She does. Okay, so here's our hardened one that I made prior. And so then what you do is just go back in and cut them in whatever desired thickness you want. And so again, doing those rustic hearts, what I kind of had to do with them is just keep turning it a little bit so that it would stay in the heart shape. So you guys could play with it and see what kind of fun shapes you could come up with. So, all right, so there's our cookies all set to go. Just like that. This one is great because if you like raw dough, there's no egg in it, it tastes divine. So, okay, we're gonna throw these in the oven here. We've got our oven preheated to 350, and these are going to stay in for 9 to 11 minutes. Hey, we're back in the kitchen with our lime cherry shortbread cookies out of the oven. So I wanted to talk to you for a minute before I show you the cookie, or talk to you a little bit more about the cookie, about these pans. These are my favorite cookie sheets. I love them because they have the ridges on them, and so you don't have to use parchment paper. See how easy that comes off? And then the other thing I love about them is you get nice golden brown bottoms. So I use these for all of my cookies. So this is the cute lime cherry. This is what it'll look like. If you wanted to make it fancier for Valentine's Day, I've got some chocolate over here that I have melted for another cookie, but you could do the cute trick where you put that in a Ziploc bag or a decorator tube, and you could just take chocolate and drizzle and go back and forth like this. Or else sometimes, let's just do one here. Sometimes if my chocolate is thin enough, I'll even just do them like this with a knife. And so it just adds a little bit of decadence to it. And hey, Valentine's is all about decadence. So you could do that and finish them off that way if you wanted to. But that's a wrap on our lime dark cherry cookies. Enjoy. Hey, it's Melanie again from Oil Life. I just wanted to recap what we've done today. It's been so fun to share some Valentine's ideas with you. First of all, we did the Almond Joy Bites, which are so fun. Don't forget you can experiment and put all different kind of essential oils in those for the taste that you want. And then we did the dark cherry lime shortbread cookies, which are so fun. And again, you could drizzle those with chocolate if you wanted to. But the thing I love about those is it's like you eat one and you're like, oh man, I gotta have another one, because they are a great combination of tart and sweet with that cherry and the lime. It's just a great flavor complex that just, ooh, makes your heart sing. Okay, the last thing we did was the orange shortbread. Love the orange also, again, because it's just such a good flavor. And so this is almost like those chocolate orange sticks that you get at Christmas, or the chocolate oranges that you break. That's what this flavor complex is all about. And then also don't forget that you could put mini chocolate chips in these, but don't they turn out fun? That's a great treat too. What spouse wouldn't get a kick out of these if he came home, or she came home and you had these great treats for them for Valentine's Day? So again, it was fun to be with you from Oil Life, and we will see you again another time. Thanks.